I think the beach has too much sand.
Absolutely. Not a fan of sand.
Ooh, it's a good rhyme.
Not a sand fan.
But I am a Sandman fan. Adam Sandler.
Okay.
So we went on vacation. My family has a house on Carolina Beach. It was a good vacation.
It was great.
Our dogs got to play.
Yeah.
Our dog and my parents' dog.
Yeah, it was very cute.
About 30 minutes from my parents' house is Wilmington, North Carolina. It's home to one of our favorite record stores, Gravity Records, but we're not here to talk about them. We decided to see what else the city had to offer in the way of record stores. Where did we go first?
We went to Yellow Dog Discs.
I remember it being a bit rainy that day.
Yeah.
So it was kind of a perfect day to like peruse around some record stores.
I agree. It was a little hard to find.
It was so hard to find.
I think like the dot on
Apple
the
Maps.
Yeah, like
Apple Maps.
The dot was like in an odd spot.
So when we finally found it,
Yeah.
what was your first impression?
Very unassuming how big it is on the inside. So like,
It's huge.
yeah, you walk in thinking it's going to be like a little small, like 2 walls of something, and you go in and it's like,
Whoa! Sprawling, if you
Yeah.
will, being so big, is that you didn't get that warm welcome that you would get in a smaller record store.
true. It felt more like a big box store
Yeah.
almost that you were walking into.
Which isn't a bad thing, because most of the time that means more stock.
Right. In the front, they had like the new releases, which were very easy to navigate.
It sort of seems like they were on the cusp of rearranging things. A little vintage video game section that looked like it used to be predominant, and now it's just kind of shoved in a corner.
Maybe it's coming back.
So Yellow Dog carries a bit of everything, movies, a plethora of vinyl pop figures, you know?
Right.
Yeah.
And like, I'm not a huge fan of like collecting those, but I'm always a big fan of like looking through them.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And being like, oh, this one's cool or this one's cool, but like it's very rare where I'm like, I need it.
We did see one cool one.
Yeah, it was really freaking neat.
It was the TLC, like all 3 of them, and then the Ooh on the TLC tip.
Yeah, there's like a record on it.
Yeah. So, but we were thinking like, who would buy that? Who's that for? It's for us. We bought it.
Oops.
We got the thing. So what did you think about digging through their stock?
They had a lot.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like they had a lot of doubles too.
They had a lot of stock that you would see in the local stores sell out really fast, which I was very shocked at. I'm like, how is this still on the shelves? Nothing like super rare, but something that usually gets snatched up right away when a local shop posts about it on Instagram.
What's the deal with everybody's wooden, things getting taller? I'm not getting shorter.
He's an angry elf. They definitely had lots of like pop punk, emo, hardcore, some good pop music as well.
Alternative section.
Their like top 40 was predominant too, like whatever was, popping. Mm-hmm. And I really enjoyed that. The way it was put out kind of confused me a little bit.
Yeah.
Because I couldn't find like the A's. Like they had all the cards. Like this is the A section for punk. This is the A section for pop and rock or what have you. But the way the shelves were stacked, because they weren't traditional record bins for the most part. It was hard for me to know where to start.
Yeah, it was almost overwhelming, but like in a good way, because that means like there's so many records.
You found a groove pretty early on though.
Yeah, I think so too, I guess.
I was just like going from bin to bin. I'm like, I don't even know where to begin.
At first I feel like I got sidetracked with like staring at all the pop figures and looking through those. I think I just found a section where I found a few records that, I had already or liked, and then I was like, okay, here's my, spot to dig.
Let's go back to the bins really quick.
Okay.
I'm tall, I'm 6 feet.
I know, and I'm not.
And it was a little bit of a struggle for me to kind of get to the end of the stacks.
Yeah, I feel like sometimes I miss out on the back row of like, the back of the back.
Yeah.
Because like technically I can't see it unless I pull the whole thing out.
I want to be clear, we're not being negative. We found some
No,
cool stuff,
great.
and it was so much fun going in there.
It was a lot of things I already had, which is like a good sign. So like,
Yeah.
Good taste.
Speaking of going in there, have you ever wondered what it's like to be 4'8" inside of a record store? Because we got the ever popular Stacy cam coming up. Well, wasn't that fun? Another Stacy cam in the books. Everybody likes it. Let's get started with yours. You only got one.
I got one, and
Yeah.
like I got one. I think because the selection was really overwhelming, and then a lot of them I were finding I already have, and it was kind of amazing because I saw them live. I saw them open up for Anthony Green. I was right in the front row.
Yeah.
It was really fun. Queen of Jeans, Dig It Yourself. It's the what splatter was it you said?
It's like a green and black.
Yeah,
And
that's
white.
cool.
It's pretty cool.
Yeah.
That's a Top Shelf Records release.
Yeah.
I'd never heard of this band, and when I was opening it so we could film B-roll of it, I saw the Top Shelf logo, and I'm a huge fan of anything Top Shelf does.
And
so
that album is just.
I got the first album at Hippo Records, 5-6 months ago?
Yeah.
And I was waiting for a reissue of their second album because I think it's just as good as the first. People might fight me on that. But I got Passion Pit's Gossamer. Just a fun album. It's pressed on peach, like in pink-ish splatter. It looks really good.
I feel like there's a song on there that I put on your playlist years ago.
Years ago, back in the day.
We both said years ago. When we were little spring chickens.
You met in our mid-30s. My last pickup, I didn't even know this existed. Apparently it was a record store day release however long ago, but I absolutely love this band.
Me too.
And to see that there's like some live tracks pressed by Music on Vinyl, which most of the time sounds really, really good as far as their mastering goes and their pressing. But I got Silverchair live at Cabaret Metro.
Bet that's so good.
I'm excited to spin this one simply because I love Silverchair, and I think they were in that time period when they were at their height, they were sort of a slept-on band because there were so many other bands that sounded like them, but I think they did it the best. If you've never listened to Silverchair, that's bonkers to me,
right.
but
I was like,
definitely
wait a minute.
check out Silverchair. I'm not even going to tell you anything. I'm not going to tell you what they sound like. If you're into guitar music,
Slap the bass big time.
check out Silverchair.
Yeah.
You will not be
I'm
disappointed.
pretty sure.
I have final thoughts.
Whoa.
I know. Usually I ask you, and I will ask you, because I am polite.
Yeah, of course. Go ahead.
My final thoughts on Yellow Dog discs. I'd like to see what they do with all that space, right? Most of the time that I go into a record store and I find out they sell a myriad of things, it seems to me like they have trouble finding their identity. I don't think Yellow Dog Discs has trouble finding their identity. However, they have so much space, they can utilize it for more vinyl, and because vinyl is at its height, I think they would do very, very well.
Yeah, for sure. And I think they have the right idea with like having a crap ton of vinyl in there.
Yeah, absolutely.
And all the little fun stuff for people that, are forced to go in there with their partners and they don't want to be there, so they're looking at the pops.
We don't have to do that.
We don't have to deal with that.
It's great.
It's fun.
But Yellow Dog Discs,
It's good.
good time.
It's great.
And now what are your final thoughts?
My final thought.
Why'd you look that
I don't
way?
know, because you went like this.
Well, I was
And I was like, what's over there?
presenting.
Me? Okay, me.
What are your final thoughts?
The usual, I loved it. It was fun. It was a good vacation. It was very relaxing, very needed. I can't wait for the next one. Take care of yourself and each other. And, I don't know, use your blinker when you drive. That was a good one.
That was good.
It's very good advice.
Thank you for coming on part 1 of our 2-part vacation adventure. This is Vinyl Reckoning. You know our names. I'm Matt.
I'm Stacy.
Y'all be easy. Have a good night.